Heart been broke so many times. I don't know what to believe.
Okay. Priority resale.
Yeah. It's my shoe brand. It's my shoe. Business. Buy shoes, sell shoes.
Rod Wave. You like Rod Wave too?
Yeah. Man.
Have you been hurt before?
Shit. I don't know if this podcast. I don't know if we can talk about it on the podcast, but I'll just say this: rod wave isn't for everybody. You gotta have, you gotta understand rod wave in order to really mess with it, right? So when people are like, Dirk better than rod wave, young boy better than rod wave, it makes sense. I'll let you have those arguments. I'll let you have those opinions because you really gotta understand rod, and once you understand rod, like
So what's up with Rod? Like what's your understanding of Rod?
Rod just speaks from
a place of hurt
and pain.
How do you feel about meat? The word meat. What's
special
special about that word?
It's an interesting word.
Very simple.
One of my friends just started saying it for no reason. Like after every single word, he just be like meat. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? So I don't really say meat like that. You know what I'm saying?
You said you like meat.
I mean, yeah, but who doesn't? Unless you're a vegan.
That is true.
And then Taha says it a lot too.
No, don't do that.
What? Taha says it a lot too. He calls me Meatwin, which is weird.
I heard you call him Meatha.
No, Taha told me to call him Meatha.
What's funny?
Nothing, man.
I just had to defend my name. You and Jim were talking, and I don't call you Meatwin. I want to get that clear. Funny for you, I have all the screenshots. I literally spent like last night on every screenshot of you ever saying meat. So just know. Don't lie.
I can search my messages, type in meat. You'd be like top 5 people in there right now.
Oh, really?
Probably top 2.
I kind of want to get into your background a little bit. So where are you from? Like, where's your family from?
My dad's from the Caribbean, Dominica.
Can't like wind your hips a little bit.
That's my red flag. I can't dance.
So they don't say anything. There's like no like stereotypes or anything about Caribbean men like that you could think of.
Not that I know of. You know any stereotypes about Bangladesh men?
That we're just really good people.
Good people.
Know how to cook. Yeah.
You can cook?
Yeah, of course.
You sure?
Yeah. You never see me cook?
No.
That's a little weird. I'm not gonna cook for you. But I don't think a lot of people realize like you sold fake shoes before, and and so like.
All right, let me know when you're done.
No, I'm serious. Because you sold me some fake black cats, and I just want the whole world to know that.
You did?
Yeah.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Where are they?
They're actually they're here. I can go get them. Jim, go get them. Go get the black cats. Because now we're gonna see what do you have to say for yourself. I was quiet for so long. At all this pain, I sat here and I wasn't gonna say that. I was like, yo, that's my man's. I'm not gonna. Oh, they're at home.
Yeah, at home, right? Yeah.
Oh.
They try to get me, y'all.
Oh,
they try to get me, y'all.
But for those who say you sell fake sneakers, what would you say?
I mean, shoot. Go first off, follow Priority Resale on Instagram. Second off, once you go to the page, click the link in the bio. You're gonna go to the review page. I have 150 positive reviews. All my shoes authentic. I ain't ever sell nothing fake. I ain't fake over here.
You've never wrote a fake sneaker review.
True to the craft. All that. I'm authentic.
You've never wrote a fake sneaker review?
No.
Huh.
You can click on all the people in there, all real people. I'm real. I'm real.
You're him.
I been him.
Me. Sorry. All right, welcome back to the Time Running Podcast. My name is Taha.
And my name is Jim.
And we're here with a special guest, Adwin Paul of Priority Resale. I'll throw his little @ somewhere up here.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we'll let you introduce yourself real quick, what you do, things like that.
Yeah, so first off, I want to say thank you for letting me on the podcast. My name is Adwin Paul. I'm a student at the University of Maryland. And I just have I'm someone who likes to chase after their passions and, wants to be able to make life meaningful and do something that I want to do with my life. So, I am the owner of Priority Resale, which is my shoe company. And also just started Priority Hoops, which is a basketball player development brand.
Yeah, and that's fire. Yeah, I feel like you get to work with like a lot of like really good like basketball players and stuff, and like it's very tough. I feel like everybody's kind of dream, or at least for hoopers and people who play basketball, like it's like their dream to just be able to play it for money, and so like that's fire. And I just like starting off like just a little more background, like what kind of got you into like sneaker reselling? Like when did you start? Like how'd you kind of learn about it?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was a kid, I always loved sneakers since I was a kid. Shout out my guy Jay Jones from Kick Genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got me in the shoes. I used to watch their sneaker reviews every day when I would come home from school. But my parents wouldn't let me get shoes because which makes, looking back on it, it makes sense because I used to wear my shoes a lot and just beat them up. So it was never a thing where like they'd get me shoes. But I always wanted like Jordans. I wanted retros. And when I got to college and I started getting money, I sort of wanted to, I started getting my own shoes. And I was like, wait, why can't I just, sort of get shoes for other people as well? Because I'm looking around and like, all my friends want shoes. All my friends talking about, yeah, I want this shoe, but I don't know how to get it, and I was like, maybe I could do that for them. And that's sort of where it started off as. And it's grown, I've been selling to people all over the country. Yeah. Get it.
I saw when you sold the shoes to Jay Jones. I was like, dang, like this man is really moving up. How did that make you feel?
Yeah. It was actually like a surreal moment. Because I don't think like everyone knows Jay Jones, but just him being the guy who got me in the shoes. And he's someone who like he's someone to me that I sort of look up to in the shoe game. That was a really surreal moment. Not like he's a really down to earth guy as well. We just talk about a lot of different stuff as well. And yeah.
Nah, I was gonna say, bro, like, yo, Kick Genius was like they were running everything. Like, when we were little, bro. Like, I remember I would see oh shoot. Anyway, I would see like, bro, like they would wake up. It was like their first video. They used to play like horse on like that little mini hoop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
they
about?
woke up and then when they woke up and they started playing on the hoop with no backboard,
bro. And then they were going down the track field with the little mini balls. I'm like, I'm shifty type thing.
You know what's crazy? When I saw those drills that same week, I went out and I started trying to do them. Like they really inspired me to not only like get into shoes, but also like just get better at playing basketball. Because Trey, first of all, very bouncy guy, right? And I think I'm a pretty bouncy guy sometimes too. So when I saw how he was like playing, I kind of inspired my game based off of how he played. Like he's a very cool guy, and I know he must have felt like insane watching your people you watched growing up, like seeing you how you move, and then now buying shoes from you, and then he wants to keep working with you in the future. That's really inspirational.
And I think back to the thing where you're talking about, watching them, like watching them play, and then you went outside and played. I think that's sort of just like, I think the thing about them is like they weren't like, NBA players. So it was like these are people, we could be. I think that's what made them like, a lot like so inspirational to a lot of people our age. And I think that's something that, a lot of people can look at and be like, okay, I can do something with this too. Like you don't gotta go to the league, to be in basketball. You don't gotta be, the next Drake to be in music. You can just you can really just if you can find your lane, you can find your lane with anything in this world. And I think something like that's very important for like a lot of young kids to know.
Yeah, and I think like even like kind of just like moving a little forward, like when it comes to you selling sneakers and stuff like that. Like, have you took like any like big losses and stuff? Because I don't sell shoes, but people know like who know me, like I'm down bad right now when it comes to like investing, whatever. And so it's like, and it's hard to kind of get past that. I feel like it's like, have you taken like any big losses? Like, how did you kind of come back from that?
So it's a funny story because here's what I tell everybody in the sneaker game: when you're starting out, you're going to get scammed. Like
you got scammed?
Yeah, everybody gets scammed. Like I don't think there's been one like sneaker seller that I know who hasn't got.
Was it like OC money though?
It was 500. So it was when I was first starting too, right? And so I went on this. It was like one tactic I use, which I don't use anymore, was I would go on Mercari. You know what Mercari is? I go on Mercari, and then I'd buy shoes and then obviously like resell them. But thing about Mercari is there's no authentication. So like, yeah, so I get So there's these shoes. They were these Easy 700s, and they looked real. They looked real. They had a stock, like that was back when I didn't know anything about the game, right? Had a StockX tag and everything. They only $300, but they were going for like 700. I was like, bet, I can make it easy 300 right now, right? Get the shoe, buy it from him, buy it from them. They ship it. I ship it to Goat. They're like, nah, it's fake. And tried to hit him up, but he blocked me. So yeah, so
blocking is crazy.
Yeah, and I threw the shoes away. So I don't got them no more.
But then that also begs my question. So like how there's fake shoes, there's reps. How do you feel about like the UA world, the UA space? Yeah. How do you feel about those?
That's a great question. I'll say this, right? Me personally, I would never wear, UAs, reps, fakes, none of that, replicas, none of that. Cause, but I don't judge anyone who does. Like, I feel like a lot of, people who sell shoes, like, oh, you gotta wear, if you're not wearing fakes. Like, if you want to wear fakes, go ahead and wear fakes. But I will say this, don't resell them. Unless like you tell them explicitly, like, these are fake. Like if you're selling fakes, that's just wild. Yeah. That's wild. But, I think that, I don't wear fakes just because, like, I really love shoes. I feel like, by me wearing fakes, I sort of be like cheating myself out of the game and stuff like that. Part of the game is, being able to get the money to spend it on shoes. Now, obviously, some shoes are just overpriced and it's ridiculous. But which is what I try to do with priority resales, like sort of get people shoes that they want for like lower than market. Like I know like a lot of people who I've sold shoes to have saved hundreds of dollars with me. Like so now, although like I know a lot of people are like, oh, if you're a reseller, you're a bad person, which is not true. But I try to make it the best option for everybody. Okay.
So how do you make profit if you're buying shoes that are gonna sell for a more higher margin, but you're selling them for lower than what resellers are selling them for?
Yeah. So, in terms of that, I always make profit off my shoes. But when I'm selling it to like one of my good friends, I don't make as much money because those are my friends. I want to see them have the shoes that they want. But just because I'm not gonna give it like obviously for retail, but it's not gonna be like like $400 if the market's 400. I'm gonna make it below market. It's not gonna be way under market, but it's not gonna be overcharged and it's not gonna be at market. So it's the best option. I'm not saying you're gonna get them for retail, obviously, because then what would be the point of me doing it? But it's the best, in my opinion. It's the best option, which is why it's called priority.
That's fire. Okay. Okay. And then I guess again, I think one thing about you, like the people who know you, you're a big like you mess with Kanye, but you're a big Kobe fan, right?
Yeah.
We got Kobe somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Got right there. But yeah, like so, like where did like that love of like Kobe come from? Like where, like how that kind of like impacted your life? Like I would say, because also I don't want all your business out there, but you got Kobe everywhere in your room.
Yeah, bro.
You watch you sleep and everything.
Nah, like I'll say this, man. Kobe Bryant has had a big impact, on the way I sort of view life. Because it's not just like, so as Taha said, I'm a really big Kobe fan. But the thing with that is, I guess I became a really big like fan of Kobe after he retired. Because after he retired, he'd go around and doing like talks. He'd be on like podcasts. He'd be on, he'd talk at schools. And like the way he just talked about his philosophy and the way he approached the game and like the way he translates basketball to life is something that, everyone can really look at and sort of, take into. And I feel like that's different from like any other athlete that's ever lived. Right. Because it's like, like Jordan, he'll be like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You look at his mentality and it's kind of like, you sort of just see it like, okay, maybe that's just for like basketball players. Or for Kobe, he's like telling people, literally like his one thing is he said the mama mentality is like to be better than you were yesterday. Anybody can take that quote and apply it to their life, no matter who you are. You don't just got to be an athlete, right? When he's telling people, part of the mama mentality is inspiring others around you to do what they love, right? that's not,
You got the course up here.
Oh yeah, nah. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I got this down pat. I got this down pat. Yeah, like I know my stuff. But like when he says stuff like that, and it's like people can apply that to their everyday lives. And then just obviously the way he played, like he really embodied what he talks about. Like you see the ferocity, you see the way he pays attention to detail and respects the craft of what he does. Yeah.
But he respected the craft, right? Do you think that he was better than Jordan though? I just very briefly. We're not gonna get too deep because it's gonna be just for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So I'll say this. Viewers may hate me for this. If you want to argue about it, you can hit me up, obviously. But in my honest opinion, Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time.
That's a crazy.
No, just listen.
Okay.
Listen. We can look at skill, right? We look at skill. We look at the competition they went up against, right? The competition they went up against, and the players they had on their team for their whole career, right? And then also you look at what they accomplished. I don't think anyone really matches that.
No, that's fair.
And also because what you were saying, I just want to say this to the viewers as well. This is gonna sound wild, but because we're gonna probably talk about priority hoops in a second, right? And within priority hoops, it's a lot of film breakdown, right? A lot of watching basketball film, like breakdown of everything, not just highlights and stuff. Kobe Bryant's a more skilled player than Michael Jordan. There's not one thing you can really say that, besides athleticism, obviously, because Jordan he's the greatest at that. He definitely beats Kobe out in that aspect. But there's not a lot of other things that you can really say. Like if you really watch it, not a lot of other things you can say that Jordan's better than Kobe at. And then when you watch again, you watch who he went up against. You watch the counters he has.
Okay, but you do know who's better than him? Who? Just turn around 1 second and just look right there.
LeBron?
Yeah.
No,
LeBron. Hey, relax, bro. Relax. I'm not dumb.
He's not that nice.
I'm not dumb. Yeah, let's talk about this guy right here because you say he's the greatest player of all time. Yeah. So explain your rhetoric and then we can transition to
rhetoric is a crazy word. Okay.
Here's what I gotta say about Bron, man. Like with Bron's probably gonna be the greatest of all time when it's all said and done.
How is he not already the greatest?
How is he not already the greatest?
Yeah.
And this might again. People can debate me about this. I generally don't think you can go to the finals 10 times and only win 4, and then sit here and say that you're.
But it's hard to get there, though.
It is hard to get there.
I'm probably more with Adwin. I don't think LeBron's the greatest. I think he's second. I think he's better than Jordan. I put Jordan third.
Who's first?
Kobe.
You believe that too?
I do. I've always said that.
It's a fact. You gotta watch it, bro.
You got the Kobe, Kobe bands. You got the Kobe little AirPod case.
You know what I'm saying? It's the greatest, man. Like it's nice. It's simple. Like you really like it's sort of if you know thing. It's not really, like you can look on social media like LeBron's the greatest, which makes sense. Like I'll say this. I always say that if you say Kareem, LeBron, Jordan, or Kobe are the greatest, I'm not gonna argue with you.
I gotta stop right there because I'm not gonna lie. Like this might be a real controversial. Like those older players, I don't really respect it at all. And we're being honest. Like, I'm sorry, Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100, all that, bro. He was playing high school teachers, bro. Like,
no.
but real thing about it. If you put LeBron back then, LeBron is averaging 1,000. Like,
I agree with you.
I don't that old even Larry Bird. I'm a Celtics fan.
No,
he's nice. Oh. But no. They're all like super talented. But like Jerry West. All those old point guards, like I don't respect their game. That's fair.
Mm-hmm. But like people, like I would say, they're considered great because they were so ahead of their time.
Like their impact,
yeah. Because like nowadays, they would still be great players, but they won't be as great. Like if Jokic went back to when Shaq was playing, he'd be the greatest center of all time. He'd be the greatest player.
You think Jerry West will be a starting point guard in the NBA?
No.
I'll tell you this.
I don't think he'd make it to the NBA.
That's another thing I like to talk about when it comes to this. Basketball, debates. First off, what's his name? Bill Russell. Bill Russell is nowhere. Bill Russell. If you have Bill Russell in your top 10, don't ever talk to me about basketball again. Bill Russell is a 6'10" center, which is not bad, obviously. Height-wise, physicals, he had it. He's averaged 40% field goal. He had a 40% field goal percentage for his career as a big man. So that means he's shooting 40% on layups.
That's terrible.
That's terrible, right? And so then now think about it, right? You think about that, Then you look at his other stats where he averages 22 rebounds a game. So he's basically getting his own boards off his own missed layups at that point, right?
I didn't think about that.
And
But I think just getting off the basketball thing real quick, just getting
Yeah.
back to like you and what you do. Like,
Yeah.
what are your like? Actually, first you don't got to answer. You don't want to, but I'm like a big like. I'm very open when it comes to like money and stuff. Like, do you feel like it's really good money? Like, do you feel like selling shoes, like even like basketball training, like do you feel like it's good money in it? Like for somebody as like a side hustle, and like if
Which
you
one?
want, let's say selling shoes. Like selling shoes, like do you think it's really good money, or like do you think there's other things you could do to like make way more? And like if you want to throw out like approximation, like how much you make like per shoe or anything like that, you can, but you don't got to.
I don't know exactly how much I make per shoe. That's on my Excel sheet.
Mhm.
But there is good money, but it's sort of like you got to start early, right? Like it wouldn't be good. Like when you're starting off, you obviously don't make as much money. But as you start, like as I started to make more money, like it sort of compounds, like exponentially grows. So it's good money. It's great money right now. I didn't have to work like I didn't have to work on campus this past semester because of it, which was great. But it's great money. And I think it's gonna. I hope it becomes one of those things where I'm able to use the money I make from that to go into other avenues of sort of income. Because like I don't want to do shoes forever. Because like as you grow older, like like financial responsibilities obviously grow as well.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to use that money to go into like other things like such as real estate and events and investing and stuff like that. In terms of basketball training, it's good money when you sort of, again, it's good. It's not like great money when you're starting off. Sort of, I mean, it's sort of like everything when it comes to like you're starting your own thing. You're not gonna make money from the jump unless your gym with investing. But
I was gonna say like because even with you have to, it's very connection based, right? Like that's like I feel like a lot of things are like. How long did it kind of take for you like kind of build out that network or whatever, like, and to really get into it? Because I know like when I first met you, like you were like into it, but like I feel like it grew way past that.
Yeah. So it really is based on network, but the thing about networking I think in this, I mean, I'm sort of networking in general. Once you start, it's so much easier to network within that industry, right? Like once you have results, obviously, like because networking is bringing value, so you gotta have results. So once what's an example? Like one player I worked with, we worked for like a whole year actually. He gets like 6-7 offers in one summer, right? So I can tell people that, and it's like, okay, like you have the results you need, right?
Yeah.
And then also my guy Bryant, he's out in I think Washington. He's hooping right now at his school. We worked all summer, right? So like you see those results starting to show, and it's kind of like
You build your portfolio.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like it can also like your portfolio has to be diverse too. Like I don't just train. I was training this my girl Layla. She's a freshman in high school. She came to me like in the summer going into freshman year. She was like, I'm trying to be on varsity. Worked all summer. She's playing varsity, starting on varsity on one of the best basketball programs in her respective county, and she had a 30-point game actually.
So obviously I like to think that I have like physical attributes to be a pretty good player. I'm pretty athletic. So do you think you could get me on the UMD basketball team if I put my mind to it? Because it's all about me to begin with. But also if you help me, do you think you can get me there? 6'3", I'm kind of bouncy.
Yeah, of course. We'll have to work on your shot a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll have to work on your shot, work on getting your bag right, because you just got the float, dribble, pull up in your bag.
That's all I need. My bag is crazy.
If that's what you think you need, then you're not going to be ready for this level.
No. Think about it. Like my bag is insane. I have so many moves.
You have one move in your bag.
What is it?
It's the float, dribble, hezzy, pull up.
Oh, I can do this.
Not saying it doesn't work.
It does work.
I've never seen you do that. I've never seen you do that.
I can do it. I just never. I have so much thing in my so many moves in my bag.
You just resort to one every time.
Yeah, because when I play y'all, it's like
it's not really bump.
Okay. Okay. So, what about me? Big Taha. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, bro. I'll say this. Taha is actually nice.
Wait, hold on. I don't like how
I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you.
Who's better, me or Taha?
Shit, I'm gonna have to go with Taha, bro.
Duh.
It's so crazy.
I mean, bro, because like, here's the thing about Taha, bro. Like, Taha walk in the gym, you gonna look at Taha like, okay, it's nice.
Nah.
We'll beat him. We'll beat him.
Yeah.
That's how I was like. I was like, Taha not
It's
nice.
racially motivated.
No,
Partially.
But
I feel
it's
it.
just the way you walk. You don't walk like a hooper.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
like, you know how who's a good example? You know how Mark walks?
Yeah.
Mark walks like a hooper.
no,
Like-
Mark is just tall and skinny. So he's like, oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it. Like, but
it's
like you see him coming to a gym, you're like, okay, he could play basketball, right? Even same thing with like Ian or something like that. Like, you know how you see like KD walk into a gym, like, okay, like he could hoop.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right.
Right, but the thing about Taha is like Taha has one of the best finishing packages like I've seen in a minute, bro. I'm telling you, and like I'm not lying. Like I've seen Taha. Like Taha will go to the rack,
Core strength.
spin move, absorb contact, finish with the left.
Core strength.
That's so crazy because it's not true.
The thing is, it is though.
Okay, no,
'Cause
no.
I thought the same thing, bro. I thought that.
Recently it has, but it was not always like that. I don't know where you started making it like that.
I be working. I be working. Even when I don't be working, I'm up here.
And low key, Taha a shooter, bro. Taha a shooter.
It's like
Yeah, he's tricky.
it's tricky. But when I'm on, I'm turned.
Now, when me and Taha be hooping, we don't lose.
Kobe and Shaq.
We don't lose. Talking about
Wow.
Yeah.
Braun and D Wade.
Yeah. That's a good one too, actually. Okay, but even like get off that, right? So like I think it's just to wrap up like this part. What do you like want people to know about like you as a person? Like why should they kind of like support Priority Hoops or resell? Like what about you? Like do you feel like
I mean, I just look to inspire.
it's a good word.
Just inspire people to be better or just get what they want. I feel like a lot of people as they get older, they don't. Actually, I also want people to know like to find themselves too, because a lot of people don't really know who they are. And when you get older, and when you're forced to like, choose your life, and you don't even know who you are, that's where a lot of stuff starts to go downhill for a lot of people our age. And it can lead to like a lot of other things as well. So, just sort of telling people, go find yourself, find out what you love, and just try to be the best you can be at it. That's sort of what I want people to sort of get out of Priority Hoops. Like when I'm working with, players, they're working with me because they want to be the best basketball player they can be, right? Someone hits me up for shoes, they're hitting me up for shoes that they want, that they know they want, right? And so, just sort of, inspiring others to be, find out what they love and be the best at it and just, be the best they can be every day.
Nah, for sure. And I think that, and like I really like that. And like I don't want to say too much, but like even like from knowing you, I feel like you've always kind of stuck to like what you liked. Like you've always known like you want to work in sports, you want to do this, and like a lot of people, like I probably fall victim to it a lot too. Like I kind of get caught up with like everything that everybody else is doing, and you see it, and like you kind of want to chase that too. Like if you see success in what they're doing, and like you've always kind of stuck to like. I've always loved basketball. You've always, loved shoes, and like you kind of just always pursued that, and you've gained a lot of connections and like, in that space that you wouldn't have if you would have kept trying to try every single thing in the world. Yeah. So like, I think that's one thing I really noticed out of you, and like,
yeah,
very respectable.
That's the thing about it. Like you sort of got to realize, when you see someone being successful, you're sort of like stepping into their shoes. So you may not even fit their shoes for real. So you sort of got to just like know what you want. And know that everything takes time. You just gotta appreciate the journey. It's the biggest part about it.
For sure.
Appreciate the time, millionaire.
Yeah.
Gotta appreciate that
Perfect.
time. Man.
All right. So but yeah, no, it was very fun. Y'all stay tuned. There's gonna be a little segment after this that, a little game we're about to play. But yeah, for this portion, for people on the podcast, and who aren't watching on YouTube, this is where the video will end for you guys. So if you want to watch the whole thing, go to the YouTube channel, go like, subscribe, comment, all that.
Make sure you follow.
Priority Hoops on Instagram, Priority Reselling Instagram.
Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain, he was a man. 30, what was it, 20,000, 30,000? 20,000? Crazy. But you know what I'm talking about. But no. Great player. Think he's a little bit overrated because of the era he played in, but still a great player. Did a lot for the game in terms of moving it forward.
Black Hat Force.
I'm wearing them right now. Black Hat Force, I think they're just a great shoe to have in your collection.
Mm.
I can put them on with basically anything.
Very diverse.
Yeah, and thing is, they were sitting on shelves when they first dropped. Like no one, like you could just walk into a store and get them. Now all of a sudden they're like $900. I'm glad I got them when I got them. But great shoe. Glad I have them.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. I think he's a great player. I think he's a top 8 all-time point guard. But he relies a lot on his athleticism, and that sort of, hindered him into how he plays right now. So this year is not going that great for him, but I still don't think we should take that away from his past legendary career.
Stan Smiths.
Stan Smiths. I think they're a good shoe to have if it fits your aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily fit mine. But I think if they fit your aesthetic, then shoot, you could rock them. Really good. Shaq, most dominant force ever. And I think a top 10 casual take of all time is that he wasn't skilled. Like, yeah, he could bully you, but he was actually extremely skilled with his footwork, body positioning, all that. So very underrated skill-wise. I think he's top 2 centers of all time. Mm-hmm. But I think Kareem is better. But top 2 centers of all time. Great player. Yeah. And Kobe did not carry Kobe.
Chuck Taylors.
Chuck Taylors. Shoot. They're the foundation for all the shoes we have now. Without Chuck Taylors, we probably wouldn't have Jordans. So, they were the first. They were the first basketball shoe. First high top basketball shoe, at least, I think. So they're timeless, I think that, obviously not everyone can rock them. Mm-hmm. But if you can, definitely do it. But they're definitely gotta pay homage to the OGs. Taha, the GOAT, man. Never quite met anyone like him. Great person to have, in your life. Great person, have as a friend. Very talented. Very meek.
Nice.